hey there. Welcome to the Weather Show with Vin Crosby. It has been a while. I have missed you. I wanted to start to do some weather forecasting once again as we go into early April because it is going to snow in several areas in the Northwest, and some areas are going to get very heavy snows to start off the first week in April, so no April Fool's joke here. Had to throw that corny little tag in there. First of all, speaking of tags, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the show yet. It helps the algorithm. Give this video a like. That's a big part. That's how we make money, and we like to get paid for our services, but I really enjoy doing this and helping to provide you with my skills and knowledge I've learned over the last 30 years. So let's get right to it. Here is why I think we're going to get some pretty good cold air, a hard freeze coming to the Northwest this week, early this week, and then lots of rain and snow in some areas, and snow levels may drop down to the valley floors in places like, Portland, up around Boise, just down in the foothills in those valleys. You may see some flurries through the early weeks of April. And then this big Arctic air mass is going to move over the region, and that's going to be great news for the water supply for this upcoming summer. I'm going to explain that coming up here in just a bit. But take a look at the satellite picture. A pretty good pattern that is really showing signs of this thing coming in to surge into the Northwest. We had a couple of waves in the pattern on Saturday as the cold air started to move in. All this you see here above that line, that bottom line, is all cold air, all those speckled white clouds back there with those circulations here, and all that is in the jet stream. All that is cold air, like winter type cold air that is going to move into the Pacific Northwest. What we did see happen is a couple of circulations there kind of move, and that's going to shift the jet stream and help it beeline, if you will, or surge into the Northwest on Sunday. And so you'll see that pattern flatten out where there were a couple of waves. Now there's just one straight wave, and that's just a giant pool of cold air with nowhere to go but to plow forward into the Northwest. And that's going to bring a lot of precipitation. In most areas, it's going to be snow, and we're talking up to a foot of snow or more in some of the high mountains of Washington, Oregon, and Idaho with this storm system. So don't be surprised to see slick roads in some of those higher elevation areas up around Interstate 90 going on in towards Montana and back towards Interstate 80 as we go into the early stages of this week. And then what's going to happen is this circulation is going to pull all that energy down into the Northwest, come right on in towards the Boise area and continue to push on towards the east. That is going to spin up a lot of cold air into the region, and then once it moves through, that'll set the stages for a hard freeze. So let's go and take a look on where I think that hard freeze will be and where those gusty winds are going to develop this early stages of the first week of April. All right, let me start you off with this first model. Wait till you see the cold temperatures and the snow amounts that are going to be coming towards the Northwest. This first model brings a tremendous amount of snow early on this week. Now, this is Monday morning, going in throughout the day on Monday, snow flying in the higher elevations. And then as we go in towards Monday night going into Tuesday, you can see another surge comes our way, and then it keeps on coming on in throughout the day on Tuesday going into Wednesday. Most of these areas in the yellows, the reds, and the oranges, that's between 2 and 3 feet of snow, my friends, in the higher elevations. And then the purples and the greens you see here around Idaho, tremendous amount of snow coming down into the foothills. But wait, there's more. This is the system plowing on through, going throughout the day on Monday with some rain coming on in to the valleys and lots of wind. And then, of course, the snow in the higher elevations. But then all that snow keeps pressing on down into the Northwest. And look at some of these snow totals. This forecast loop, those pinks and purples, well over 2 feet of snow in the Cascades around the Snoqualmie Pass area. But notice on the later runs, the later hours, snow starts to hit some of the valley floors right there, for instance. Let's go in for a closer look on this thing. So as we go in for a closer look, you can see tremendous amounts of snows up around Seattle and Portland area, and the Cascades, I should say, in the higher elevations. But down in the valleys, you start to see those snows start to pile up. Not pile up, but about a dusting to an inch. And then notice around Boise, from Boise Meridian, a trace of snow going into the overnight hours down towards the early morning hours of Tuesday morning. That is around a dusting to maybe a half inch of snow down along Interstate 84. So this is going to be quite the cold front that moves on through over the next 3 days or so. And you can see this heavy snows back up here in towards McCall, back towards Cascade and Donnelly. Those areas picking up between 4 and 8 inches of snow in some areas in the higher elevations, and even more up around Stanley, Vilgus Basin, back up towards the foothills, up around Baker City and the Blues. Heavy snows could be coming down again. This throughout much of the day on Monday in the higher elevations, but those snow levels dropping dramatically Monday night going in through Tuesday and throughout the day on Tuesday. And then there's this. This is the hard freeze portion of it, the cold air moving on in. These are temperatures Monday morning. As we go into Tuesday morning, watch the colors get a darker shade of blue and purple. That's colder air. And then Wednesday morning, super cold air moving on in. That's the hard freeze coming our way. And some of the temperatures for your Monday morning, for instance, around Boise, we're looking for a temperature not bad, around 41 degrees. Seattle, 44 degrees. So not bad temperatures Monday morning, but of course it'll feel cool with the rain coming through Monday and throughout the day and Monday night. Tuesday, we drop temperatures down to the lower 30s. That's where we could see that changeover from rain to snow in some areas around Boise. Seattle getting chilly as well in the 30s. Portland getting into the 30s. But then Tuesday night going into Wednesday morning, this is the hard freeze, folks. Temperatures in Boise down to around 26 degrees in Boise on the morning hours. Seattle, temperatures down around freezing in the Seattle area, around 34 degrees, and the same for Portland, around 32 degrees. As we go into the Treasure Valley, this is, again, Wednesday morning, Tuesday night to Wednesday morning. A hard freeze means temperatures are 28 degrees and colder. 27 in Meridian, 27 in Eagle, 29 in Nampa, Caldwell, 28 degrees. As we go in even for a closer look around Cuna, 27 degrees. South Nampa around Lake Lowell, 27 degrees. Back out towards the west end of the valley around Notice, 27 degrees. Parma, 27 degrees. You get the theme here. As we go back up around Ontario, 30 degrees as you get closer to the Snake River, and then back up in the higher elevations, some real cold stuff, of course, with the snow on the ground. McCall in the teens. Stanley, of course, is going to be in the teens, in the single digits for overnight lows Tuesday night going into Wednesday morning. So a tremendous amount of cold air coming our way here in the Treasure Valley.